quiet seaside town, an evil laid to rest centuries ago, has risen. An abandoned fortress deep in the swamp holds a secret that could save the village or destroy it. Now, a band of adventurers sets out to dig up the wounds of the past and bring the light of day to the roots of ruin. This is Tabletop Gold.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tabletop Gold. It's an actual play podcast. We play Pathfinder 2nd Edition, and we're just here to have a nice time and play a couple games. Hi, I'm Lars Casteen. I'm the host and game master on the show, and I am joined today for this episode by Zoe Chernicoff. Hi, Zoe.
Good today time.
Good today time to you. Armat Humphreys is here.
Good Otari time to everyone today.
Good Otari time to you. Robin Lange is here.
Yeah, good laggy time.
Good laggy time. Robin,
we'll see if I continue to be here.
I think you're going to be here. If not, I know I've been learning so much about how to integrate artificial intelligence into the way that we do things, and I think that you're going to be just fine.
But we still have Armat?
Yep, we're keeping Armat.
Love you, kidding.
No, entirely justified. I understand. Thank you for having me for as long as you did.
And David, the Tin Man Chernicoff, is here as well.
Good that time, Lars. I'm really disappointed because I just asked an AI chat assistant how I should greet you.
Okay.
And instead of just greeting me, it gave me like a whole long, it's probably like 100 words, kind of a spiel about, and there's bullet points. And
no, it's too much information.
How you should greet Lars tonight depends on a few things: your relationship with him, the occasion, and the context of your meeting. I know that's what I was trying to get out of thinking about by asking you.
Yeah.
You're making me do more work. Stop it.
Yeah. You're entrapping me deeper into hell. What's happening?
Okay, I just finished reading it, and it says my body language can convey just as much warmth as my words. So.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey.
Wow. Oh my god!
What a nice smile.
So
really
so
great
pleasant.
for an audio media form.
Yeah, for those of you listening only, you're never going to understand what happened.
You're never going to get it. Speaking of never going to get it, that was a song by En Vogue, one of the most popular singing groups from New York in the early 90s. And speaking of New York, my sister, I'm so excited. This is something I want to talk about before we are getting into into the game tonight. My sister is bringing her family to visit us tomorrow. We live in a smallish apartment in Queens. My sister, her husband, and her 2 daughters are coming to spend the weekend with us. They're going to be in the city. They were going to do something like that didn't make sense to me in terms of like their stay. They were going to stay in New Jersey and then drive into Manhattan I was like, this is not how you visit New York. Like, you don't want to have to like drive in and park every single day that you're doing this. Just please come stay with us in Queens. And I have found myself today like getting so like surprisingly excited about this visit. Aww. I'm so pumped about my kids hanging out with her kids. They like love each other. They don't see each other that often. And I feel like I can give everybody like a much better experience of being in New York than they would have had like without doing this way. So I just feel like the upside is so high. I'm just like so happy and positive and optimistic about this. And I realized that, one of the reasons why I'm so happy is that we're going to spend time going to like museums on Saturday, and we're going to go to the Natural History Museum, which is one of my favorite places to go in the city. It's like, I think it's like a really wonderful thing that I think everybody who comes to New York should go to. So I was kind of wondering, what are places that you would recommend people go to who are visiting you where you live or where you used to live at some point? What are places that you would recommend people go? While you're thinking about this, the Natural History Museum is like iconic and cool, and I love it. But they also have special exhibits that you can like get into if you like pay a little bit extra on top. Those things are like so amazing to me. There's one that they have called Invisible Worlds, where you go inside of like a globe, and there's like interactive like projections and stuff that take you inside of a brain, then like down into the ocean, and then up into the sky, and all this stuff. It's like the most seamlessly effective like multimedia installation thing that I've ever seen at a museum. And I think it is going to melt my niece's brains. And I'm so excited to see everything fall into place over this weekend. So that's what I'm particularly excited about. Does anybody have anything that they would suggest that somebody go to, that they would take somebody to help them feel good about visiting them?
I always tell people coming to the city, if you want to go up something tall, go up to the top of Rockefeller Center, not the Empire State Building, because Rockefeller Center is really uninteresting to look at, and you get to see all the pretty buildings from there.
Right. You can see the Empire State Building from Rockefeller Center,
Top of the Rock
which is a real positive.
And Top of the Rock is just a lovely experience. Very well done. So I always suggest Top of the Rock instead of Empire State Building.
Empire State Building also costs something like $160 to go to the top of.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's outrageous.
It's really famous, so they can get away with it.
So I need to stop telling people who visit Richmond to go to the top of the Empire State Building. I mean, it was already kind of a big ask.
You really should stop.
Listen, buy a ticket from Richmond Airport to New York City. Yeah.
That's right. And I thought it was an okay to tell people to spend $300 to like fly to New York, but $460, that's too much.
That's where you have to draw the line.
I did once when we lived in New York. I was looking for a new dentist for reasons I no longer remember, and booked a dentist. And they were, it was not the Empire State Building, it was the Chrysler Building, but they were like not at the top, but like 5 floors away from the top of the Chrysler.
That's
it was
cool.
When I booked it online, I just like some dentist that took my insurance online, and it was somewhere in Midtown. And I was like, I don't know that where. And then I showed up and I was like, oh. It's like one of those only in New York experiences. You're like, all right, I guess my dentist is near the top of the Chrysler Building.
Yeah, that's awesome. So cool.
Even if your insurance copay is $150, you're still coming out ahead because you're also getting dental work.
Right, so you get an admission.
You can, if you go at the right time to the Empire State Building, you can get some dental work done up there. Like they'll figure it out for you, I'm sure.
For sure.
Here in Richmond, there's a handful of places that we suggest to like first time visitors that might interest them. And one of the things we like about the city is that there are too many of them to do in a weekend. What are the greatest hits, babe? Our art museum is pretty incredible.
I'm trying to think of something I'd recommend to anyone, whether they had kids or not.
I think Maymont is that.
Maymont is nice.
Probably.
What is Maymont?
Maymont is it was a sort of large estate thing with like very big grounds and very well kept, and a big historic house in the middle. And now there is also a sort of quasi petting zoo type farm and a small conservation zoo of native to Virginia species.
It's a very lovely Japanese garden.
Yes, it's all very well preserved and all of that. And so there's sort of fun for all ages. You spend a couple of pleasant hours there at just about any time of
the grounds
the year.
are really pretty. Like
just walking around.
It's like a very nice park with a couple of things to do. Is probably the best way to.
It sounds similar to me. There's that famous house in Asheville. That's
the Biltmore.
The Biltmore, is that what it is?
It's not as fancy as like the house itself is like perfectly nice, but not like was that a Vanderbilt or a Rockefeller place? Rockefellers, I think. Anyways,
the Biltmore is like an absolutely enormous house with like enormous grounds. This is certainly not anywhere near that scale, but kind of a similar. It was a nice house, and now it's a historically preserved nice house. This is just like a more like. Not as like lavish and extreme. Our botanical garden's really nice. The river's really nice to walk around at. And there's
the river walk would be mine. It's like
spaces,
really undercrowded and very pretty, and it goes along part of the James River.
Yeah.
Nice. So Maymont and the Riverwalk for anybody looking to go to Richmond.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing. I feel like we're doubling as a travel guide now, and that's ultimately the trajectory that I was hoping we would get on.
If you pay for our Patreon, we'll give you real suggestions. These are very dangerous, bad
These
suggestions.
are all traps.
Yeah.
We should let you know.
These are places where we ambush listeners.
Armet, do you have any suggestions for people visiting you in Idaho? I don't like.
Yeah, actually.
What do you got?
The Yankee Fork Gold Dredge is this preserved gold dredge that like basically was going down a river and churning up the bottom of the river to try and extricate gold. And it had this whole big mechanical conveyor belt and line that the ore would come onto, and they'd crack it. And, if it was good, they'd go down the ore line, and otherwise it'd just get dumped out at a long chute at the back. And it's actually super cool. And as a bonus, on the way down, there is a dam called the Sunbeam Dam that got dynamited in the 70s, I think.
On purpose?
On purpose by activists, because they wanted the salmon to flow through the river.
Seriously?
Aw.
Seriously, yeah.
It was destroyed. It was destroyed in an act of domestic terrorism?
Eco-terrorism.
Wow.
And there's also hot springs right by there, the Sunbeam Hot Springs, which are very delightful to visit as well. And there's also Ghost Town if you go a little further down the road past the dredge. So it's kind of a great afternoon tour there.
Yankee Fork.
Yeah. If you guys come out, I will totally take you there.
All right.
Yeah. So you got that going for you.
Sounds fun.
Hey, before we get into the show today, I want to let you know we're doing a giveaway. If you're watching this live on YouTube, congratulations. You're going to get the chance to enter our giveaway contest. Watch the chat right now. I'll put a link into chat, and you can use that link to enter a chance to win Battle Cry! Or as I call it, Battle Cry! For Pathfinder, which is the rule book that has the Commander class, the Guardian class, skirmish rules, all kinds of crazy stuff. I'll send it. You enter it now. At the end of the show, I email you, and then you win it, and it's just that easy. So thanks for hanging out for the live premiere on YouTube, youtube.com/@tabletopgold. If you're interested in participating and you weren't listening this time, we're going to do this for 2 more weeks. We got another giveaway next week. We got another giveaway the week after that. We're just doing giveaway, back to back. It's a dynasty of giveaways that we're doing. So yes, please. Thank you for hanging out with us live on YouTube, and good luck to you.
Good luck time.
Good luck time. What do you say we get into it? Let's play our game. 500 years ago, the heroes of the Rose Guard vanquished the sorcerer Belcora Haravax and stopped her from unleashing a weapon of mass destruction on their home city of Absalom. In that battle, Otari Ilvashti, the Rose Guard's master thief, was accidentally killed. In the centuries since, Otari's ghost has been trapped here in the universe, unable to move on to Pharasma's final judgment. He's been subjected to manipulations by wisps, Nimboloth's agents on Galarian, who have curdled his sentiments into loathing for his friend, the wizard Zarmovdian. And now, you have Zarmovdian's soul in a rapidly decaying magical stone. It was the wizard's wishes for this stone to be reunited with Otari's spirit, so he would have the chance to explain that the fireball that hit Otari was a fatal mistake rather than a concerted attack. Perhaps, if Otari knew the truth that his friend did not mean to hurt him, he would be freed from undeath and allowed to move on. So when we're picking up here, we are in this medium-sized room. You can see in front of you, you've just destroyed the last of these wisps that were tormenting Otari, and you can see in this room, Otari is in front of you, sort of howling and accusing you of being wicked, deceitful tormentors in league with Zarmovdian, as he is held down onto the floor by 7 ghost-like spectral tentacles that are keeping him in place. He's out of control. He's screaming You're with him! You're trying to finish the job that he couldn't finish! He's just raving, right? He's completely out of control. And the stone sent to you by Vadim, the stone that has Zarmavdian spirit, is currently in your bag of holding. So, I just wanted to get a sense of, I guess 2 questions. How is it that you're feeling in this moment, and what is it that you would like to do right now?
I feel like there's probably sort of a catharsis, right? Like this is maybe aside from, I don't know, harnessing the power of the light for our own purposes or whatever it is that we're down here to do. Like this is sort of the number 2 item.
Yeah.
So Ao's feeling the gravity of the moment, the gravitas.
And like a real thrum, I think, right? Like probably a little adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Mag is really thrumming too. She's a local, and her hometown is named after this legendary. It's like we were saying last time. It's like chatting with Abraham Lincoln's ghost, and so I think
Nebraska.
that like the sort of weight of history continues to sit in the room for Mag.
Yeah, for Istin as well. I think this has a sort of like bittersweet quality to it because he's here with this person that his father had dedicated his whole life to, and he doesn't know what to ask him.
Trill's in this moment of release and relief after another wisp fight, but she's I think she's very excited to try and essentially save Otari's soul.
Do you have confidence, do you think, that this stone that you're bringing with you is going to do the trick, or is this sort of all an unknown? Like, is there any doubt in your mind that this will work?
Trill's totally confident.
So what do? Are you going to use this stone, do you think? The directions from Vadim just said bring the stone in contact with Otari's spirit.
And where's the stone now? In the bag of holding?
Yeah, it's in the bag of holding, filed under S.
Soul stone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Mag would then reach into the bag of holding, and she would withdraw 2 things.
Okay.
The soul-containing stone and Otari's dagger, which was one of the 4 relics that we needed to gather. Gosh, how many floors ago was that? Like 7 floors ago or
it's
something?
Like the 4th
6 or
floor,
7?
I think?
4th floor, so it's either 6 or 7.
6. It was 6. You were very close.
Wow.
You were extremely
I thought it was
close.
way higher.
Yeah. I don't know how conscious of like an intention there is for this, other than this is like an item related to this person. I don't know. It's like a moment of reconciliation. So why not reunite, him with this piece of history? And maybe on some level she thinks that it also might serve to soothe him or indicate, that we come in peace.
Okay. So you grab the knife, you grab the stone. This knife was the knife also that drew you towards Otari. Like as Mag pulls out the knife, this eerie, the light that you've brought into the room shimmers off of the knife, and you see the very same knife like on his hilt, right? This like spectral, ghostly version of this knife. The partner to this, like the metaphysical partner to the object that you're holding, is standing, is right there. What do you do with the stone?
So Mag, I guess, it's holds the stone in one hand, and the dagger, maybe the dagger handle out,
Right.
not like brandishing the thing, but offering it, and says to Otari, "Be at peace. We bring you these things so you might find some solace after such a long moment of suffering."
And Otari is like screaming as you're saying this. Like you're trying to break through this, like this yelling, this this accusation of like, no, I'm not looking at anything you're bringing to me. No. And you see these 7 tendrils that are holding onto him cinch up tight and grab a hold of him, like pulling him closer and closer to the ground. And it causes him like physical pain. He reaches back for a second, is like, ah! And that pain is immediately channeled into like anger at you and to Zarmovdian. It's like, Zarmovdian sent you. So you get the impression now that in order to get him to listen to you, in order to get him to pay any attention to you, we're going to need to do something where like you're going to have to loosen the grasp that these tentacles have on Otari. Okay? Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
So,
yeah.
I'm wondering if Trill can think of something to help kind of loosen or dispel these tentacles.
Well, let's see. Let's go around. Let's take some turns here. There are some skills that I think could be potentially useful here. You could potentially, like, physically pull the tendrils out of the ground. Athletics could be useful for that. You could potentially use occultism to disrupt the energies of a tendril to try to pull them apart and just gradually chip away at this thing that is keeping Otari from seeing sense. Perhaps diplomacy would be useful to soothe Otari, to weaken the hold of these tendrils. Thievery, maybe, to manipulate the tendril to entice it to release its grasp. Religion, to exercise the spirit of Otari to maybe soothe him, and in turn, because there's like a feedback loop here, right? Between these tendrils, between Otari, his mood, the strength of these tentacles that are holding him in place, they're feeding off each other, they're strengthening each other. So that's a potential way forward. We could also look at maybe attacking one of these tendrils with a slashing weapon. I'm going to... That's probably enough information here. I think that using Otari's dagger, let's say, is going to give you a bonus on any of these checks. So Mag maybe looks down at the dagger that she's holding onto, thinks about ways that she can use the tools that she has at her disposal, and could potentially use Otari's dagger in a way that would like be more effective than any other, extra effective because of Otari's connection to this iconic dagger that is so closely associated with him. Otari, like I said, the tendrils squinch up on him and says, Zarmovdian, you've come here to torment me, and you brought these stooges. They chase me from floor to floor. They torment me. Leave me to the wisps. At least they're honest. Ao, what do you think Ao is going to do here to try to release the grasp of one of these tendrils?
I think she's going to zap it with some foxfire.
Okay. So Ao squints and takes aim at one of these tendrils. Give me an attack roll with foxfire, please. Let's see if Ao is able to connect with one of these tendrils in this moment that she sees maybe one of them stop twitching, start holding still. Can she seize this opportunity?
It's almost a good roll, but then instead, Lars, it was a 24.
Okay. A 24 is going to miss as this tendril squeezes up tight, and Ao's blast of foxfire passes right by the tendril. And Otari starts crying, tears running down his cheeks. Like, why? You betray me, and now you've come to torture me? Death wasn't enough for you? Armat, what do you think Istin is going to do here?
I think Istin is just going to stride on in and start grappling with the tendril to try and pull it off. So I'm going to do an athletics roll if I can.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 39.
Okay. That is a critical success.
Yes!
Meaning that Istin is able to grab a hold of two of these tendrils at once and yank them clean out of the ground, and you hear this pop pop as they snap, and this trail of like ethereal white energy sprays into the air as the tentacles like whip around in Isthan's hand for a brief moment before falling limp and then dissipating into thin air. There are two of these tendrils gone. There are 5 tendrils still attached to Otari, and Otari's tone changes at this moment. He sort of flinches back from you, and he's like, Don't touch me. Back away. I've had enough. Robin, what do you think Trill is going to do here?
Could Trill do a performance check to try and soothe the tendrils away with music?
I think that soothing the tendrils is a question to me. I have a little bit of trouble understanding that, but I think the idea of a performance check to, like I talked to you about doing a diplomacy check to soothe Otari to weaken the hold. I think doing performance for that instead totally makes sense to me. If you're playing a calming song to Otari to soothe his spirits, to bring him out of this difficult, like all-consuming emotion that he's having right now. Of course.
So let's give that a try. Weird roll. So that was a 32.
Okay. 32 is a success, and Otari relaxes for a moment as he waves his head back and forth. He's like, no, back away, back away. And his arm relaxes, and one of these tendrils that's holding onto him loses a grasp of him for a second and starts whipping around trying to get a hold of him again, and fails to grab hold and fades away. There are 4 tendrils left. Otari droops down. He says, I'm so tired. So tired of waiting. So tired of feeling this over and over again. David, what do we think Mag is going to do here?
Maybe then your time caught up in this emotion draws to a close. And as she tries to hold his gaze with this sympathetic sentiment, she places for a moment the stone from Zarmavdian on the floor and reaches forward to try to grab one of the tendrils and then slash it with the dagger.
I'm happy for you to call that either athletics or a strike. Either one is totally okay with me.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's they're very, very similar, but let's call it a strike.
Okay.
All right. Roll is a 15 for a 35 total.
Okay. That is another critical success.
Hey, wow.
Oof.
As Mag is able to reach forward, and you hear pop, pop, as 2 more of these tendrils give way underneath Otari's own dagger. Otari looks now finally like he is calm. He's looking at you. He says, yes. As 2 of these tendrils continue to grab a hold of his legs and sort of like twist and pulsate, he looks at you and he says, I saw you before. What is that stone you put down? What it looks quite familiar. What is it? Why are you here? What is happening?
We come on an errand from friends and from Pharasma herself to offer you a passage out of this limbo that's kept you here.
He says, oh, okay. So are you going to put this stone on him?
Yes. Going to, I guess, reach out with it and hope that he takes it. And if not, perhaps contrive to, make contact. Set it on his leg or something if he's not going to grab, or, I don't just want to like wing it at him.
Like, sit, stay, keep it there in your head.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, sometimes people reflexively will like catch something that you throw at them, but like his arms are with the strain. I don't want to break it.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a soul stone containing your friend's spirit.
Thank you.
Okay, so you reach out and hold the stone out to him, and he reaches out towards you, and you feel nothing as his hand slips through yours. Like your hand is coming this way, his hand is coming this way, and you feel nothing as they intersect. But as his hand rises up, you feel the stone getting lighter and lighter and lighter until eventually it drifts away off of your hand, trailing small like specks of kind of eerie light. And then Otari takes a breath, grabs a hold of the stone, and falls silent for a moment. And as he stands there, his face becomes even more relaxed, and the anguish that he was experiencing starts dripping away. And he says, for a brief moment, he says, I see you there. And he's looking past you, right? Like the four of you are standing in front of you, and he's looking at something in the back of the room. He says, when did you become such an old man? And he sits there and he listens for a second, just like as though you're not even in the room with him anymore. And he says, a few moments later, says, I should have known you would get me killed. Not even the dread Belcor Haravex could stand up to a fireball happy wizard, Why did I run in? You old dog, I saw an opening. You were supposed to watch out for me. Blaming me for your mistakes as always. Of course, brother, all is forgiven. And Otari closes his eyes and reaches forward, his arms wrapped around the air in front of him in like a warm hug. And he pushes his arms back for a second. He just says, let's get the hell out of this place. And he turns to the four of you and he says, thank you for giving me the chance to say hello and I guess say goodbye to an old friend. Where did you get that knife? Oh, I gave it to you, right? Sorry.
Do you want it back? It's not really mine to give, but...
It's not mine to have anymore. And he turns to his side and he says, the Lady of Graves is overdue for a meeting with us both. Isn't she, old man? He takes a step forward, and there's a shiver of this energy pulsing around Otari as you hear like a popping sound as these two tendrils just go and just pop apart as he takes a step forward. And he reaches out his hand as though he's holding the hand of Zarmavdian, whom you do not see in front of you. And he says, let's move on. Let's see what Pharasma has to say about what we've done. How about it, old boy? And he takes a big step forward. And as he steps forward, like first his nose disappears, then his cheeks, his eyes, his hair, until eventually the tip of his boot sort of sprays apart in like slow moving points of light until eventually the room is once more empty. And what do you say we give everybody a hero point, right?
Yeah.
Let's give everyone a hero point here.
Take it.
What episode are we on?
Is it worth it? How aggressively? It's 217.
Oh,
Okay,
we got 3 episodes.
2 more episodes after this to use them.
I'm going to roll again.
Yeah, let's just reroll stuff.
Yeah.
When we got the letter from Vadim,
Yeah.
and there was the stone wrapped up with it.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we had any interaction with the stone or we could see Zermovdian. Did we?
No. For the 4 people in this room.
I feel like that'd be a very strange experience for us because we didn't know. We were told what was in that stone.
For sure.
But we couldn't really. We had no interaction with Zermovdian.
You had no interaction with Zermovdian. That's true.
I feel like we'd be Trill would definitely be scratching her head.
Well, that was weird. Just being on one side of a only hearing one side of a conversation. I wonder what Zermovdian was like.
Iston, by the way, though he's trying not to let it on, is crying.
Oh.
Because I think for him this raised memories of the job in Holomog. And asking the question if his teammates would forgive him in the way that Otari has forgiven Zermovdian. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that Otari, given the chance to say just a few words to his old friend, was ready to forgive him.
Yeah.
Along similar lines, wherever he is now, what does it look like for Vadim at the moment Pharasma finally reclaims this particular soul who was kept from her, the rupture of which was so significant to her that she nominated a champion and dispatched him across the continent twice, across the continent and back again, just to reclaim this soul. Is there? Does he know? Does he feel the moment that finally, this person is able to join Pharasma, to be embraced by Pharasma's
Yeah, is there any
grasp?
payoff for Vadim in the Gravelands?
I feel like... I'm sorry, Lars. I have an image in my head.
Please.
But I don't know if you have...
Let me tell you exactly what happens. Yeah, what are you thinking, Armat?
In my mind, because of the time difference there, it's night. And I am seeing Vadim and Radu and Martha and Blando sitting around a campfire, working their way back to civilization. And it's been a good day. They're all tired, but happy they haven't had to fight that day. And they've busted out rations of an extremely precious supply of ale. And they're sitting around the fire and telling tales and making dumb jokes. And in a moment of quiet, Vadim hears a whippoorwill singing in the darkness. And I think that's how he knows.
Mm-hmm. It's I can't do anything smug or weird with AO after all this heartfelt stuff.
Oh, come on. You'll think of something.
Yeah.
If anyone could do it.
Yeah.
If anyone's going to do it. No,
we believe in you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. I'm not going to meet the moment. AO, I think, feeling a little bit emotional but uncomfortable as a result, just sort of fires 2 or 3 little blasts of foxfire into the air, sort of as a nonverbal memoriam to what has just passed.
It's nice. I love fireworks.
It's really lovely, ew.
And then she sort of looks away and gets a palm full of teeth and starts sorting through them just to...
That's significantly less lovely, ew.
We all help in our own ways.
That's right, Trill. That is right.
Trill puts a little hand on Iston's shoulder, pats him.
Thanks. I really needed that.
Yeah. Okay. You don't need to put your head there.
No, I'll get it together. I know.
You're gonna do that? Oh God. Okay.
Geez.
Okay.
I just have these feelings, you know?
Patting.
Ayo, do you have any gauze?
She like sort of fumbling about, trying to keep her emotions, and gets it, but like wraps the palm full of teeth, but with the gauze on the oh, here. Plenty. I've got plenty.
This has taken long enough that Mag has instead wrapped Isthin in her bedroll.
Thank you. I needed that too.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that too generously. With that, those things have been in a lot of places.
Wait, is it the same one?
Who knows?
It's doesn't matter.
Well, that's what that smell is.
I apply borax generously.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's. I've heard that stripping really helps with like using that to strip out all the gunk. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Ayo, maybe you could use this to help with the dishes.
Ayo pretends not to hear.
Well, I dare say, wasn't expecting quite such catharsis in a dismal, becursed catacomb.
It's amazing. It really does feel like we did something really important here, though. Honestly, all we did was accept some mail.
Redemption really brightens up a space.
As Mag comments about the room, if you wouldn't mind, let me take the moment to re-describe this room to you. This is this large chamber that has
in our general direction.
Yeah, just listen. Listen to me if you want to. I don't care.
My mother was a hamster, and my father did smell of elder.
Yes, I'm going to give you this room description in your general direction. So this is a large room that has a basin of swamp water in it. You've seen these basins many times. There are shards of glass all over the floor. Like Ayo, as she is in this room, is probably having to walk quite gingerly, able to move now that she's not like in the middle of combat, able to move to keep her feet safe. You know, like if Ayo looks down, she can thread her furry feet between the shards of glass safely. But this does seem to be a room where the souls that were contained in those globes that you found would have been brought to then be like consumed by these wisps. So it's perhaps no surprise that Otari was brought here to be consumed by those wisps.
Oh.
Got it. So the wisps are sort of Nimbaloth's hench beings.
Yeah.
And they were being fed souls that were being encased in glass by the golems in the previous room?
Exactly.
That's messed up.
So you can perhaps, let's move.
This place has been on the up and up all along.
I'm starting to have my doubts.
Here on this last floor, they would.
Yeah, the Better Business Bureau is gonna hear from me about this for sure.
Honestly, I've heard that the process is ISO 9000 certified at this point. It's
does Galarian have the equivalent of like an OSHA hotline?
No, but they do have LEED certification.
Okay.
What a fun adventure concept. Just like the Galarian OSHA sent in to investigate like messed up workplaces
I'm
in
down for that.
dark temples.
Oh, I want to go to there.
So let's just like move your memory back a few rooms, okay? There is that ancient skeleton that pointed you through a door into a room where there were arrow slits pointing at you for you to then get shot to death.
Yeah.
That sucked.
Then from there, there was a
very credible
room.
Seeming skeleton.
Yeah.
Why did we listen to him?
Listen.
Do as he pointed.
From there, you went into a room where souls would have been harvested from people who potentially fell there. And now you're in a room where those souls are being funneled straight to Nimbaloth. So those who were unlucky enough to fail this test, the cult found a way to make use of them, regardless of whether or not they became members in the cult.
Do we know for a fact that there was a cult, or is the whole thing just a smokescreen to keep coaxing people in and feeding them to the wisps?
Well, that's a good question. Agreed. Everything that you have seen suggests that this is a temple. Like you've used your expertise of Nimbleoth and of cults to like observe this temple and get a good sense of what was going on in here. But, you raise a good point. Like you haven't seen what happens to the people who pass the test, if any such people exist, right? Like that's something you have not yet observed.
Right.
If you were going to try to lure people inside by thinking that there was a cult to be joined, it would look identical whether there was or was not one. If the plan was
you're
also
suggesting a sort
to
of
throw
like MLM of soul luring?
to throw them all to the wisps anyway.
All cults
First,
are MLMs
you
at the
lure
heart.
in
Come
two
on.
people.
Right.
Really what I'm trying to say, David, is I think that if this is the thought that Mag is having right now, you have not yet seen any room, and you haven't seen anything that tells you what happens to the people who pass the test.
Yeah.
So maybe this is all there is.
Yeah. Okay.
So as you're looking around this room, though,
Oh, yeah.
and you see these shards of crystal on the ground,
Any goodies?
you see the crystal globes have been splintered apart, but you also see the wisps that were broken apart at the end, like during your, as you were trying to free Otari from these wisps. And something catches Trill's eye. There is a remnant left behind by, like the mix of the exterior of the wisp and this crackling electrical discharge when the wisp was brought down by Trill's magic, a few minutes ago. Trill notices that there's something in the corner of the room. It is a shard of a wisp itself that is partially melted, maybe from a combination of the energy flowing out of it and the magic that Trill used to blast it apart.
Ooh.
But this thing looks smooth. It looks like the size of a walnut. And as Trill approaches it, she gets the sense that it is filled with like occult energies and could be potentially used as a medallion.
Is it like round or is it flat?
It's like round. It's like
Okay.
it's
Like
almost
like a globe. Round that
sort
way.
of, yeah. It's like it's translucent the way that a jellyfish is.
I was just trying to figure out
cloudiness.
if it was more like necklace or more like loot pick.
It's more the way that I'm describing it is more like necklace,
Okay.
more like something that would hang.
I
around
had an
your
idea
neck.
of her like using it as her guitar pick.
Maybe it's like an Ebo. Do you know what an Ebo is?
Yeah.
Are y'all big enough guitar dorks to know what an Ebo
I am.
Oh.
Okay,
I'm excited to learn.
Okay, what an Ebo is it's a
Ooh.
handheld thing that has a
That'd be a bad
9-volt
thing.
battery in it that has like a resonating magnet inside of it
Wow,
that when you
wow.
hold it on top of a guitar string, you don't pluck the string. This bouncy magnet makes the string go.
It's so cool.
So potentially what Trill has
Wait,
found
the
here is
sound that wisps make, you mean?
Yes, I'm sorry. You stumble. We find so many amazing accidents as we go through these things. Yes, vaguely, this is like a shard of a wisp that functions like an Ebo that makes your lute sound like a wisp. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what
Trill
it is.
is taking back her power, and she's absolutely going to use this in playing instruments now.
I'm going to let you know as Trill seizes this artifact that is not just emblematic of, but crafted from this creature that she is more frightened of, or has historically been more frightened of than any other. Trill finds that this is going to give her some power. So this item, as long as you're using it, is going to give you a +2 item bonus to saves against wisps.
Nice.
That's going to help.
Trill feels strongly about this. She's like,
Finally, something good came out of these creepy, awful, tricky balls of swamp farts.
Sort of bathos. Do you know what bathos is? Are you familiar with the concept of bathos?
from pathos to bathos, yeah.
An effect of an anticlimax created by an unintentional lapse in mood from the sublime to the trivial or ridiculous. Okay.
I see why you thought of that.
You see it? You get it? So, as Trill finds this item here in this room, and as you sort of come to terms with the layout of the temple as you've seen it so far, let's just say that everybody had enough time to heal up. Ao was able to use some gauze to bring everybody up to health, and it is currently about 1:20 in the afternoon. So it seems like there's potentially opportunity for some more exploration. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you're in this like 20 by 20 foot chamber. You know that there is this hallway that you fought the glass golems in. This hallway is like a broad oval with alcoves and twists and turns inside of it. When you were moving through the area, you found just one double door leading in there that you went through. So if we want to resume exploration, what do you say we start from?
I have
Yeah, please.
a quick question before we leave this room. What would happen if we desecrated this little altar to Nimbeloth?
Like the basin?
Yeah.
Oh, is this like when we were in that temple and we shattered the stained glass window? We gonna
Kind of, yeah.
do a little vandalism?
Right?
Yeah. The
Benevolent vandalism?
Trill's down for a little Nimbeloth vandalism.
I can't tell you what would happen, but I can tell you that this basin, this like clay basin filled with swamp water, looks heavy, but does not look like it is held in place in any magical way.
Magiston, see if we can tip this over. Get the swamp water out of here.
Right?
Make it harder for Nimbeloth to do whatever their thing is.
We're not desecrating. We're desecrating this basin, he says as he pushes it over.
So
I think that's my new catchphrase now.
No, that's not.
No?
It's a
all right. I'll keep
broadly
workshopping it.
usable catchphrase. So Istin puts his shoulder down on the lip of this basin, and you smell the sort of stale water of this like fetid swamp water reach into your nostrils. There's muck and vegetation sort of teeming within this basin. And as you tilt it over, you get your shoulder underneath it, tilt it over. There's a rush of water across the floor of this room, picking up some of these crystal shards and shards of fallen wisps that sort of wash across the room, collecting it on the far northeastern corner of the room, clearing a way for Ao to potentially walk through without injuring her feet anymore.
Hey, nice.
And
That's nice.
And there is the smell of, of like algae, of lily pads, of brackish water in the room.
Swamp farts.
But exactly. But the basin is upended, and this little bit of swamp away from swamp is now destroyed.
That feels better. Now I can move on.
Yeah, that was fun.
The last point. Are you okay with us heading on back to this? Oh boy. Okay.
Whoa.
They changed some stuff in this system that makes it so even I am not allowed to move tokens through walls anymore.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
So I have
How
to just
dare you.
manually drag
walk us
everybody's.
all down,
I just
boopity boop boop.
Dang.
walking the dog. Oh, can I tell you something? Today I was walking down the street right in my neighborhood on Queens. I was like in the main commercial district in my neighborhood, and I just hear this like walking with my family, right? I have like a kid in a stroller, and we're doing the whole like walking through the neighborhood family thing. And I hear this sound that's like, and I was just like, what on earth is that sound? And I saw this old dude, and he was walking, like holding the leash for a dog, and the collar was just scraping along the ground, like along the sidewalk, like on the street as he was crossing the street. And I was just like, I turned to my wife and I was like, Sonny, what the fuck is going on with that dude? He was like old. And listen, we're at an age now where old people are now like maybe artists or something. And I was like, I guess this guy was doing a performance. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on with this dude. And then I started crossing the street, and I saw a tiny white dog on the far corner of the intersection, just sort of like jumping around like, yep, 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 yep.
Oh, boy.
I'm like midway crossing the street, and I turn around, and I'm just like, sir, 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 sir. And he like turns, and I'm like, you've lost your dog. Your dog is over there. And this dude is like, this poor, I mean, I feel bad for everybody involved in the story. I feel good for me because I saved a dog.
Yeah.
But
you sound like such a hero in this story.
I sound great.
Very honorable thing there.
Addled old
and
man.
so this dude starts like, he scampers across the street, and there are all these like bystanders like watching this dog, trying to like pen the dog in between them. And then he got his dog back. So that happened today.
Well, good on you, man.
It was weird.
I'm so glad
It
that
was
worked
really
out.
strange.
Is there a part of you that thinks I maybe shouldn't return this dog to this guy?
For sure.
I mean,
But
obviously you're not going to like intercede and,
Right.
you know, I'm not saying you should have or that I would or that there really is another option, but it's definitely like the thought crosses your mind like this is maybe not the only time this guy hasn't been perfectly on point with regard to the care of this animal, you know?
Yeah.
I'll say this collar was about 4 inches in diameter, and the dog's neck was probably like an inch and a half.
Uh-huh.
You know, it was simply the wrong collar. What I should have done is I should have said, "Good sir, your dog, you have lost your canine. Perhaps it's time to invest in a new leash, my boy." And see what comes of that.
Or
My
like
good
my good
sir.
man.
at least call OSHA.
Yeah, I should have called Dog OSHA. And been like, but yeah, it was like a weird, surreal moment, and it could have been catastrophic, but it wasn't. And I hope this dude figures it out.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give you guys my pitch for Dog OSHA's motto?
Please.
Yes.
Please.
We work where you bork.
I thought you were going to say like rooting out rough stuff. or something.
better.
Yeah. Dude, what does AI say it should be?
Oh, no, please don't ask AI. Please don't ask AI.
Stand by.
This is what we're destroying the ecosystem for.
This is what it's for.
That's literally why they made it. This is it.
So you work your way through the alcoves and the twists and turns of this like torture chamber that you pass through to get to the room that you were just in, and you're now standing in a hallway. In front of you is the room where the arrow slits and the firing squad was. Like that's through this double door in directly in front of you to the south. To the west, though, there is a small hallway that you went down a short distance when you were following the impulses of the locate spell as Otari's knife was dragging you towards Otari. The knife, pulled you into the far northwestern corner of this hallway, so you have not yet explored down that hallway into the next room there. However, in front of you, across the chamber with the firing squad, there is another unopened door that you have yet to go through. So those are kind of the two doors that you have in front of you, or you could head back to the main chamber where the skeleton and the 2 dread wisps are waiting for you. It's up to you, whatever you think. But what do we have in mind here?
So many doors, so many options.
I will say that there is one extra piece of context I can give you here. Ao detected warmth coming from this room to the hallway to the west. Ao detected warmth there when you were passing through this area before. And as you're walking down this hallway now, you do feel like a blast of heat. Not a blast of heat. You feel radiating heat coming from this hallway here to the west.
Ooh, that interests me.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
Let's check out the hot place.
Okay.
No way it's hell.
We've already been there. That was a different level.
To be fair, we didn't go. We just relegated someone else there. What we can agree is one of the more morally dubious choices anyone's made on this podcast.
Still don't see what the issue was.
So far,
There was it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Okay, you push up to this door. And Ao, as she's approaching this door, feels very strong heat. Are we going through this door? Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
You push the door open and you step into this chamber that has like bubbling vats of lava inside of it. What are your exploration activities as you're moving through this space, do you think? Zoe, what do you think Ao is doing here? Is Ao... I moved you into the room, but you could be avoiding notice if you wanted to.
That too.
Okay.
All the things I said.
Okay. Armat, what do you think Istin is doing here as you enter this hot room with two small pools of bubbling lava?
I think he probably would have been, the heat would have put him on guard, so he's probably raising his staff in a parrying position.
Okay. Robin, what do you think Trill is doing here?
She's looking for secret doors. She's looking for hidden things.
Okay, Trill continues searching, and what is Mag doing here?
Mag is scouting for enemies, Lars.
Okay. So Trill and Ao are searching as Istin and Mag are sort of like setting up a perimeter against anybody who may try to attack you while you're in this room. And you see these two bubbling pits of lava. And I don't know, does anybody want to start investigating here? Maybe make a check in this situation?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, could Ao send her little mage hand in there, maybe?
Yes, the mage hand, I think, would... I don't know, what do you think happens to a mage hand when it's submerged in magma?
Let's find out.
Like a raisin in the sun.
I guess if you...
Storm would say the same thing as anything else.
Okay.
Just,
Got it.
FYI.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's say that Ao's mage hand reaches down into the lava and pulls out. Like you wait for a moment, and the mage hand rises up from the bottom of this magma, and you see bits of like chunky melted rock. I'm also going to say you get the sense that if you stay in here for too long, you're going to start taking damage. Like the heat here is so overwhelming that this is like the kind of place that you go in and you move through relatively quickly. So this is a tense situation where we're talking about moving on shortly, but Ao's mage hand comes up and there's like little bits of silt in the mage hand that stay behind as the magma drips away. And as the mage hand brings this back to Ao sees like the tiniest bits of like remains of like fossilized, like calcified remains down in the pits of magma.
Shit.
Got it.
That's a really good episode, Bones, right there.
Yeah.
David, you said, oh shit. Why did you say, oh shit?
Because, so they lure the people in here, and either they become cultists, or maybe not, let's be honest. Or they fail, and then they give the souls to the wisps, and they throw the bodies in these horrifying furnaces. It's very upsetting.
Yeah, it is upsetting. I will say, David, there is a certain amount of glee that I get from seeing the environmental storytelling teased apart so expertly and seeing like you immediately get to the bottom of what's happening here. But yeah, so you're still seeing things that would have happened to the people who failed this first test. So Mag's sense that maybe this is the kind of place that you come into and there's nothing positive happening to anybody who comes in here. So far, that all seems correct to Mag.
I think Mag would be ready to move right along.
Okay.
So once it's clear that these are physical remains being dredged up from this hot pit, clear enough to Mag what we're working with here, and she'd move her way toward the door to the south.
It sounds like Mag is shoving this door open in front of you, and Mag finds herself in a tight, like a tight 10-foot long hallway. There are doors on the east and the west here as Mag pushes forward. What is Mag going to do?
I guess first she's checking to see whether everyone else is, following behind her, or whether folks are still back in the other. Opening up and getting some cooler air in there was probably the right move regardless, but are we all
we're all
done
following
in there? All right.
Yeah. And like maybe as Mag pushes this door open, there is like a little bit of that feeling of like, as you're not in this like sweltering, sweaty heat anymore.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll open one of these two doors at the end of this small cramped hallway. I guess I'm trying to sort of dead reckon my way through the floor here, and it seems like let's do the one to the west.
Okay. You try to open the door to the west. You reach out your hand towards the door to the west, and you hear it's locked. This door is locked.
Do we have any more keys in the bag of holding?
About to ask the same thing.
It doesn't seem like you tried the keys quickly. You don't have any keys that fit this lock. So you're looking at the opportunity to either force this door open or pick the lock or move on.
Does it look like the does crafting help me understand how to get this door open?
I think we could do athletics to force it open.
Should I just try to break it down?
We could also pick the lock. But...
Thievery? Thievy?
That's right.
Either one will work.
I just don't
athletics
have
or
thievery,
thievery.
Okay. All right. I'll try to bash it with my shoulder.
Okay. Mag sees that this door is not opening and attempts to bash it open. I threw an athletics check in chat for you.
A little off balance. It's only a 30.
That 30 is enough for Mag to slam the door open.
Mag's so strong.
You are now looking into a room that has swirling silver-filled runes adorning rounded walls of a chamber. You've seen many chambers like this in the past.
By Sarenrae's light, who puts an incinerator this close to an incinerator?
It's a great question.
I wish I was more powerful and could
let's
actually activate these things.
Mysteries that we'll never understand.
And let's try the door to the east this time.
Okay. Mag, leaving the magical teleportation chamber behind, pushes the door to
That's
the...
what those are?
pushes the door to the west open.
As far as we know, they're giant crab summoning machines or whatever it was that thing. Brett visited upon us last time.
I am the crab summoner. I summon only crabs.
Yeah, it's like a quarter machine outside of a grocery store that only summons giant crabs.
It would be kind of cool.
Okay, so Mag easily pushes this next door open and moves into a chamber that has two grime-crusted copper tubs. There's no water in these tubs. These are like bathing tubs standing against the south wall of this room. What do we think our exploration activities are here as you start stepping into this room that seems like it's some sort of a cleansing chamber?
Well, Trill's going to look around and kind of try and tell what exactly it was used for. If there's any evidence, if this is like a ceremonial cleansing chamber or something. So if there's any evidence of herbs or writings or anything.
Okay. Trill starts investigating with occultism is what I'm going to call that.
Yeah.
What is Mag doing?
I guess she'll investigate as well. What are we looking for? I guess things to do with Belcora and her whereabouts.
What is Isthon doing?
Could he investigate using society, like using his knowledge of culture's habits around cleansing in terms of rituals and rites that are commonly practiced? I don't know. You see where I'm going with this, though. Hopefully.
Yeah, you're doing more investigation. What is Ao doing here?
Ao is staring at the ceiling, wondering if maybe this is when astrology lore is useful. No, she's just looking for traps and I guess anything she can learn about Belcora and sort of the light and it's like the history of the building and anything like that.
Okay. So Ao starts searching around the room and Isthon, Trill, and Mag are all investigating using various skills of various sorts. I think I'm gonna roll a secret check for Trill here, because Trill's looking at the various occult things happening in this room. Mag is also looking at what it is that she knows about Belcora and so on. And the three of you sort of get the sense, as perhaps part of her investigation, Mag opens this door leading off to the north and sees that you are now on the far southern side of the testing chamber that you were in, where you were attacked by those blow dart cultists. Mag gets the sense that this, and the three of you who are investigating get the sense that this is where perhaps initiates who survived this poisoning room were bathed.
Okay.
The question, though, remains of like, okay, so they bathed these people, and then what? Like, what happens to the people after, the people who survive this test after they're bathed? As Ao's searching around, perhaps she provides some meaningful answer to that question, because she finds a stone on the eastern wall of this room that, as she starts to twist it, it sort of pivots underneath her hands. The tub on the eastern side of the room pivots and turns into the wall behind it, opening up a passageway leading into like a tight natural tunnel to the south.
Oh, yeah. That's such a good secret door.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Secret door.
Secret door.
Secret door.
Secret. And no one's chanting in unison, but everyone's chanting pretty gleefully.
I'm pretty
Except
sure
for
I'm
Mag.
like a full 2 seconds behind everyone.
How is it back then? I yearn for the simplicity of 2 seconds ago, Robin.
Yeah.
It's real lonely. No one gets all my jokes
We didn't
are
know
off.
how good we had it.
Well, they're 2 seconds behind, Robin. People have moved on. So,
We're having a good time.
we're having fun. So this question of like, what happens?
We're having a good time, and Robin still is.
Robin's still having a good time.
Oh, then
She'll
I
catch
catch
up.
up every
She'll
2
understand.
seconds, and it's no fun anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do be
But-
like that.
Still. So this question of the people that pass this test, they're bathed, where are they taken? And then suddenly Ao manages to open up this passageway where this tub rotates and opens up a door into a tunnel. So what are we going to do?
Go into the tunnel.
I think we better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So the four of you pass into this tunnel.
Guys, do you think going into this tunnel, is this gonna bring us to like the central heart of this cult? Like, because they had to go through all of that trial to get into the cult, and then once they were bathing, this door would have opened, and oh man, this is gonna be weird in here, guys.
So as Trill muses to herself, you step into this, into like a natural chamber, and there's it's interesting. As you step into this chamber, there's like a little bit of an alcove off here to the east, and there's just like a wall to the southern side of the chamber. There's no door that you're able to see here. What do you think your exploration activities are as you step into this room?
Oh, Trill is seeking for that door.
Okay, so Trill starts searching. What is Ao doing?
Ao is looking for traps and any signs of Belcora.
Okay. Ao, we'll call that searching also. Armet, what do you think Istin is doing?
I think Istin will be searching as well.
So the three of you start searching around, and you're like, there's got to be a way out of here. What is Mag doing?
Mag is scouting for enemies, Lars.
And Mag starts scouting for enemies. Mag's head is on a swivel. As the last of you step into this chamber, you hear a scraping sound as the secret door that you just stepped through pivots shut. And there's a click as the lock on the door seals shut.
We didn't put like a shoe in that door to keep it open, did we, guys?
I'll just pick it. It's fine.
I don't know if there's anything to pick. Oh no. Are we gonna run out of air in here?
As Trill says, are we going to run out of air in here? There is a hissing sound. You look up to the ceiling and you see 7 plumes of opaque white smoke start to fill the chamber. you start feeling dizzy as the air in the room gets thicker and thicker with all of the smoke. And we will pick up from there.
Ooh.
Next time.
Is it?
It was a trap!
Astral gas that I could use astrology lore for?
It's a trap!
Roots of Ruin is a Tabletop Gold production produced under the Paizo Incorporated fan content policy, using trademarks and copyrights owned by Paizo that are covered under that policy. The Roots of Ruin is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. All original characters and content in The Roots of Ruin are the property of Tabletop Gold, and all rights are reserved. We at Tabletop Gold would love to hear from you. Visit our website, tabletopgold.com, to learn more about us and our shows, join the Golden Horde to get access to more shows, pick up great merch, and connect to the best online community in all of podcasting. Thanks for listening.